Hello students, again I am Dr. Rajneesh Kumar, Associate Professor in Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida, in front of you with some more important and interesting topics. So, today's topic are aldol condensation and cross aldol condensation reactions. This topic again belongs to the unit 4 of Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 1, subject code is BP 202T. Okay. So, this topic is continuation in our last topic, that is in which we have discussed about the reaction of carbonyl compounds, mainly nucleophilic addition reaction. So, we have seen already that wherever the carbonyl groups are present in any compounds, the characteristic reaction of those compounds will always be nucleophilic addition reactions in normal condition. Okay. So, now in today's lecture we will discuss some very important topic, that is aldol condensation and cross aldol condensation. One thing I want to tell you in the starting of the reaction, that in the starting of the lecture, both aldol condensation and cross aldol condensations followed the same reaction mechanism. Okay. These both reactions require the presence of alkali. Okay. So, what happened actually and what are the differences in between two? In cross aldol condensation, we need identified, or you can say similar type of reaction, either ketone or aldehyde. Okay. Both are reacted together to give the product. In case of cross aldol reactions, different type of reactants will be taken and the reaction mechanism will be same, and the product will be formed in the same way. So, without wasting any time, I am just coming to the our topic, that is aldol condensation. Okay, students. तो होता क्या है aldol condensation में, दो एक जैसे aldehyde means two similar aldehydes or similar ketones are reacted with each other in the presence of some base. बेस की प्रेजेंस में दो एक जैसे सिमिलर एल्डिहाइड या फिर कीटोन आपस में रिएक्ट करते हैं और एक एडक्ट बनाते हैं, ठीक है कि नहीं, जिसको हम लोग एल्डोल बोलते हैं. ओके. आफ्टर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ दैट एल्डोल, इन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, 1 mole of the water will be removed and ultimately that particular reaction or aldol condensation reaction will give us alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, which is very important molecules in the organic chemistry. So, again you can remember this particular aldol condensation as the method of preparation for the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. Okay. So, how this reaction occur? We will see one by one. Okay. So, what happened actually? You can see in the PPT, an aldol condensation is a condensation. When I am talking about the condensation, condensation होता क्या है, जहाँ पर दो मॉलिक्यूल जुड़ते हैं with the removal of 1 mole of water or ethanol. Okay. That reaction is known as condensation reaction. Okay. Most of the time. So, aldol condensation is a condensation reaction in organic chemistry in which an enol or enolate ion, ultimately enolate ions come from where? It again come from the aldehyde or ketones which we are using in this particular reaction. So, reaction of enol or enolate ions with the carbonyl compound to form beta hydroxy aldehyde or beta hydroxy ketone. When we are using aldehyde as a substrate, we will get beta hydroxyaldehyde. When we are using ketone as a substrate, we will get beta hydroxy ketone as a products, which can be followed by dehydration to give a conjugate enone, which is also known as alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. Okay. That particular aldol condensation reaction actually discovered separately by two scientists. One is Russian chemist known as Alexander Borodin. He discovered this reaction in 1869, and again after him the French chemist known as Charles Adolphe Wurtz discovered this reaction in 1872. So, what is happening actually is this reaction. So, let us see. So, this molecule you can see, this is an example of aldehyde, any aldehyde we can use. when that aldehyde is reacted with the NaOH, okay, this aldehyde will reacted with the NaOH. So, what will that particular NaOH molecule will do? Okay. NaOH is actually present in the form of OH minus. Okay. That OH minus will abstract a hydrogen from this aldehyde from here, and you can see this is converted into the enolate ion. Now, that particular enolate ion is again reacting with the another molecule of same aldehyde. Here you can see, okay, addition occur, okay, and you can see we are getting beta hydroxyaldehyde. So, how it is happening? How it is happening? You just see this molecule here, you can see these electrons will go towards the oxygen, more electronegative oxygen atoms. As soon as these electrons move towards the oxygen atom, this carbon become positive charge. At that time, this will attack on this carbon. Okay. This negative carbon ion will attack on that particular positive charge carbon atom, and we are getting beta hydroxyaldehyde as the products. Okay. The same reaction can be occur with the ketone. Here you can see we are taking two molecules of ketone, one is here, another is here. Okay. Actually, this is here you can see aldehyde, but when I am talking about the ketone, so we are just written off ketone. So, we are using a molecule of ketone in the presence of NaOH, it is converted into enolate, means that NaOH or you can say OH minus will abstract a hydrogen from this ketone, okay, and converted it into the enolate ion. That enolate ion again now is reacted with the another molecule of ketone, okay, and we are getting beta hydroxy ketone as a result. So, this is you can say this is a understanding, little bit understanding. We will see the mechanism one by one in the coming slides. So, you can see two molecules of similar types of aldehyde or ketones are being used in the presence of base to get to react with each other to form a beta hydroxyaldehyde or beta hydroxy ketone as a product, which is known as the aldol. Okay. Ultimately, the one thing you have to remember that the ketone or the aldehyde which we are using in this particular reaction must have at least one alpha hydrogen. Okay. Alpha hydrogen means the hydrogen present on the alpha carbon. Alpha carbon means the carbon next to the carbonyl group carbon. Okay. So, actually two types of mechanisms are there, or you can say produce. So, two mechanism hypothesis are there for the aldol condensation reaction. The first is a base catalyzed aldol condensation reaction. Okay. This particular mechanism proceed via an enolate intermediate. So, how can it happening? You can see three steps are there. You can see this is coming from the alkylines base, you can say NaOH. So, NaOH will gives OH minus, that hydroxyl ion now coming to that particular coming to one molecule of aldehyde or ketone. What happens? It abstract a hydrogen molecules from that particular aldehyde or ketone. How? You can see the hydrogen will be abstracted after donating its electron towards the carbon. Okay. Now this OH minus become H2O and this carbon be carrying the negative charge, here you can see. Okay. Here. So, we are getting enolate ion plus one molecule of water. In the next step, addition of enolate ion, this ion to another molecule of carbonyl compounds, okay, occurring. So, you can see as I told you in the previous slide, because of the more electronegativity of the oxygen atom, these electrons move toward the oxygen. This oxygen getting negative charge, this carbon getting positive charge. As soon as this carbon getting positive charge, that enolate ion will attack on this carbon, and we are getting an intermediate. You can see again, you can see there is a negative charge on that particular oxygen atom. In the next step, protonation of the addition product occur. Okay. So, again water molecule is there in the reaction, again this H will be broken from that H2O molecules. This H is now attached to this negative charge oxygen atoms, okay, in the enolate, and we are getting this particular aldol. Okay. So, this is the mechanism which is base catalyzed. The second methods of the mechanism use acid as a catalyst. So, here you can see little bit difference in the mechanism. In the base, first of all OH minus abstract the hydrogen from the aldehyde or ketone. Here protonation of the aldehyde occur, okay, means hydrogen is being given to the aldehydes or ketone. Okay. Here you can see. So, hydrogen is being given, you can see positive charge will be generated, because here hydrogen will be broken from other molecules, it will attach to the oxygen atom. So, the lone pair of the oxygen atom will be utilized to form a bond in between oxygen and hydrogen. So, this oxygen become positive charge, we are getting water molecules. Okay. In the next step, deprotonation occur to form an enol. Okay. How it is forming? Again water molecule is coming. Okay. Now, we know that positive charge oxygen is very unstable. ठीक है, चाहता नहीं है कि मैं पॉजिटिव रहूँ, तो क्या करेगा, ये वाले इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को ले लेगा. जैसे ही इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को लेगा, ये वाला कार्बन, दिस कार्बन बिकम नेगेटिव चार्ज. ओके. As soon as this carbon negative become negative charge, these electrons move towards here, okay, and there is a formation of new double bonds. This hydrogen will go towards here, and you can see we are getting a new compounds. Okay. And the next step, addition of the enol to a second protonated aldehyde and ketones occur. Okay. So, now this molecule will be utilized. Okay. And how? Again the same step, this step will be repeated. So, now again this molecule will come towards here, this molecules, okay. Sorry, addition occur, these electrons will be utilized to form a bond, and we can see we are having new molecules in which oxygen is carrying the positive charge. In the last step, the beta hydroxyaldehyde is deprotonated to form a aldol addition products. So, again water molecule will be utilized, this hydrogen will be removed from here, this hydrogen will be removed here from here after giving its electron toward the positive charge oxygen, neutral, this oxygen become neutral, and this hydrogen moves toward the water molecule, and we are getting H3O plus means acid. Okay. So, this reaction mechanism start with the acid, end with the acids, okay, and we are getting aldol products in the last of the reaction. Now, coming to the next topic, that is cross aldol condensation reaction. Okay. As I told you, in the aldol condensation, both the aldehydes or both the ketone which we are using in the aldol condensation should be similar, okay, carrying at least one alpha hydrogen. If no alpha hydrogen is there, suppose like this, if no alpha hydrogen is there, okay, these are all alpha hydrogen. If no alpha hydrogen is there, then the formation of enolate ion cannot be possible. This mechanism will not be proceed. Okay. So, one alpha hydrogen must be present in the aldehyde or ketone which we are using to carry out the aldol condensation. Okay. Very important point. Now, what happens if aldol addition reaction is carried out without two different carbonyl compounds? Okay. As I told you, aldol condensation undergoes with two similar aldehyde or similar ketones. Now, question arises, what happens if aldol addition reaction is carried out with two different carbonyl compounds? Then what is happening? We will get the mixture of compounds. Okay. The possibility of 4 different compounds to be obtained in the last of the reaction. Okay. So, when we are using here, you can see this compound is different, okay. This compound is different, okay. It is having CH3, it is having C2H5. Okay. So, when two different ketones or different aldehyde is reacted with each other, we can obtain 4 different products in cross aldol condensation reaction. Cross itself means different. Okay. The same thing we will study in the Cannizzaro and cross Cannizzaro reaction. Okay. So, 4 different aldol addition products are possible in cross aldol condensation reaction and we can say mixture of products. So, commercially it is not very useful because it will again enhance our resource consumption. We have to provide a different methods to separate out those compounds in the last of the reaction to get a pure compounds. So, commercially it is not very useful for us, but we have to know about that. So, the process is also known as mixed aldol condensation and occurs during the combination of 2 different molecules that contain carbonyl compounds. Generally, such a reaction is only practical if no alpha hydrogen are present in one of the compounds. So, now important points is coming. Generally, this reaction is possible when out of 2 different aldehyde or ketone which we are using, one ketone or aldehyde does not have any alpha hydrogen, then very easy to perform cross aldol condensation reaction. This way only one nucleophile is formed and only a single enol or enolate is generated. If we are using I mean to say that as I told you that 4 different product can be possible, but if we want one product in abundant over another, then we have to use we have to use one aldehyde or ketone where no alpha hydrogen present, then only possible ki only one nucleophile is formed and then only possible that only one nucleophile is formed and only a single enol or enolate is generated. Very important point, you should please note it down. For example, in methanol HCHO, methanol means formaldehyde, okay, and benzaldehyde. No alpha hydrogen is present and that therefore they cannot form an enolate. Here कोई अल्फा हाइड्रोजन नहीं है, मीन्स इसके बाद कोई कार्बन है ही नहीं, अल्फा कार्बन है नहीं, अल्फा हाइड्रोजन होगा नहीं. बेंजल्डिहाइड में यहाँ पर एक कार्बन तो है, अल्फा कार्बन तो है, बट देयर इज नो अल्फा हाइड्रोजन. ओके, so they cannot form an enolate. Now, coming to the reaction, here you can see acetaldehyde and methanol. Acetaldehyde, this is alpha carbon, this is alpha hydrogen. So, one aldehyde molecule is containing alpha hydrogen, while another aldehyde molecule we are using methanol, it has no alpha hydrogen. Okay. So, one aldehyde which is having alpha hydrogen now reacting with another aldehyde which does not have any alpha hydrogen. The reaction is carried out in the presence of base like NaOH followed by the hydrolysis. Okay. It requires very low temperature to occur, and you can say that when we are using a molecule with no alpha hydrogen, out of 4 possible products, one product will be formed in abundant, that is 3-hydroxypropanol in cross aldol condensation reaction. The mechanism which is followed by this reaction is same as we have seen in the aldol condensation. In the first step, you can see this OH or hydroxyl ion will abstract the proton from that particular aldehyde. We are getting enolate ion. In the next, that particular enolate ion are now attack on the second aldehyde which we are using. Okay. In case we are using methanol, so these electrons goes toward the oxygen because of the more electronegativity of it, this carbon becomes slightly positive charge. At that time, this negative charge enolate ion now attack on that particular carbon, and you can see new molecule is being formed. In the next step alkoxide ion is protonated by the water, you can see water. So, in the starting the H molecule is abstracted from the base, in the last the H atom is again you can say donated to the negative charge oxygen atom. okay, in alkoxide molecules. So, here you can see we are getting the product in the last of the reaction. This is only possible when we are using what? Two different compounds, one is with alpha hydrogen, the second is without alpha hydrogen. Okay. If we are using both the aldehyde or ketone with alpha hydrogen, then there will be very difficult for us to separate, because there will be possibility of 4 different compound in the last of the reaction. Okay. Now, coming to the application parts. Okay. So, as you can see in the mechanism also, this reaction means aldol condensation reaction leads to the formation of a new C bond, mean carbon carbon bonds. Okay. So, because of that it is very important. Okay. It is you can say the main application of aldol condensation is gluconeogenesis and photosynthesis, and regarded as an important reaction in metabolism biochemistry, where glycolysis is the 5th step. However, it works in the opposite way in glycolysis here and serves to end the carbon carbon bonds. So, in gluconeogenesis and pathosynthesis a new carbon carbon bond forms, while in case of glycolysis it will end the carbon carbon bonds. Okay. The reaction is commonly used to produce solvents such as alcohol isophorone and diacetone. It also works as an intermediate for perfume reduction. It is also used in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Unsaturated ketones and chalcones known as aromatic ketones. Usually it is used to create plasticizer as well. Okay. So, this is all about the aldol condensation and its application. Before closing the lecture, I again want to summarize, just a minute, the mechanism of aldol condensation, because it is very important reaction for exam point of view. So, again I am telling you aldol condensation can be carried out in both acidic medium as well as basic medium. When we are talking about basic medium, 3 steps are there. In the first step, abstraction of hydrogen atom from the aldehyde is done by the alcohols like this, like this. Okay. Here this hydrogen is abstracted from the hydroxylase, which is coming into from the NaOH. NaOH will lead to the formation of OH minus in the solution, which abstract the hydrogen, will getting the carbon ion. That carbon ion again will ultimately attack on the second aldehyde or ketone. How? Because this oxygen is more electronegative, oxygen is now attracting the electrons of the double bonds. This carbon become positive charge. At that time, this negative molecule will attack on this particular carbon. We are getting this particular alkoxide molecules. In the last, the hydrogen atom will be abstracted from the water molecules, and it attached to this particular negative charge oxygen, and we are getting the aldol products. The acid catalyzed aldol condensation reaction occur in the presence of acid. Here little bit difference in the mechanism. In the previous mechanism, where just a minute, in the previous mechanism where in first phase OH minus hydroxyl ion abstract the hydrogen from the aldehydes. Here you can see acid molecules, okay, is now gives rise to the proton to the aldehyde or ketone used in the reaction. So, protonation occur in the next step, deprotonation occur. You can see this hydrogen will be removed, this double bond will be broken, there is a formation of new double bond, as you can see. In the next, addition of enol to a second protonated aldehyde or ketones occur. Here you can see we are getting this. In the last, beta hydroxyaldehyde is pre-protonated to form a aldol addition products. Here this is the aldol product we are getting. So, I hope that you understand this topic very well. Okay. So, thank you students. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.